Hi there guys, I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech and this is the unboxing and a quick hands-on review of the iQOO Z6. So here's the box. In India, this phone is available in 3 variants. Base variant is priced at 15,500 rupees and it comes with 4GB of RAM and 128GB of storage. Next variant is priced at 17,000 rupees and it comes with 6GB of RAM and 128GB of storage. The final variant is priced at 18,000 rupees and it comes with 8GB of RAM and 128GB of storage. As for colors, it's available in chromatic blue and dynamo black. We have the 8GB variant in the blue color. Now the main highlights for this phone would be its Snapdragon processor, a display with 120Hz screen refresh rate, bigger 5000 mAh battery, and its 50MP camera. Well, there really aren't a lot to talk about, but for the price, we are definitely getting some of the best features. Now without any further delays, let's get on with the unboxing. Once again, here's the box. On the top it says iQOO and it has iQOO Z6 on the sides. On the back side we got the pricing information and some more specs. Now let's unbox it. First we have a smaller box. It just says iQOO on it. Next we have the phone itself. Then we have the SIM card ejector, some barcode stickers, followed by an 18W power adapter and a Type-C cable. Inside the smaller box we just get some documentation and a transparent silicone case. Now coming back to the phone, let me just remove the cover and stickers. Now this is how the phone looks on the front and this is how the phone looks on the back. Now let's have a physical overview. On the back, this phone has a 2.5D curved fiberglass with an anti-fingerprint coating, and underneath that we also get a pretty cool pattern. At the top we got the camera module with a triple camera setup along with a single LED flash. At the bottom we got the iQOO branding. On the front we got a pretty huge display with a dewdrop notch housing the front facing camera. Above the camera, we got the earpiece and some sensors. Below the display, it's completely plain. As for the chin, it's decently sized for the price. Now for the sides, all the sides are completely flat, there's no curve, so it looks pretty good. On the right side, we got the power and volume buttons made of plastic. They have a nice clicky feel to them, and the volume buttons are sufficiently elevated. As for the power button, we can also use it like a fingerprint scanner on this phone. Now on the top, we got the secondary microphone for noise cancellation and the SIM card tray. Now here's the SIM card tray. We got a nano SIM slot along with a hybrid SD card slot. So you can either use 2 nano SIMs or a nano SIM and an SD card, not all 3 at once. Now on the left side, it's completely plain. And finally on the bottom, we got the audio jack followed by the primary microphone, a USB Type-C charging port and the speaker grill. Now this phone has a thickness of 8.25mm and weighs 186 grams. In hand it fits pretty comfortably, it's pretty sleek, and even though it has a massive battery, phone doesn't feel all that heavy. Weight distribution is decent. Now this is how the phone looks with the case on. It's got all the required cutouts and it has a slight elevation for the camera and the display, so overall it can provide you with some basic level of protection. If you want better protection, I would definitely recommend you to get a better case. For starters, you can definitely do with it. Now these are the complete specifications of this phone. On the rear, this phone has a triple camera setup with a 50MP primary camera followed by a 2MP camera for taking portrait shots and another 2MP camera for taking macro shots. For selfies, we get a 16MP camera. As for the display, we get a 6.58-inch display with Full HD Plus resolution with 120Hz screen refresh rate with a dewdrop notch. As for performance, this phone sports a Snapdragon 695 5G processor with Adreno 619 GPU with up to 8GB of RAM and 128GB of storage with 5-layer liquid cooling system for better gaming performance. Now when it comes to battery department, this phone sports a 5000 mAh battery, supports fast charging and also comes with an 18W power adapter inside the box. By the way, this phone also supports reverse charging where you can actually use your phone like a power bank to charge other devices if you have an OTG cable. So guys, those are all the specs. Now I've already configured the phone and this is how the home screen looks like once you turn it on and set it up. So this is the home screen. We also got an app drawer. This is the notification panel and this is the settings page. Now let's look at the about page. This phone is running FunTouch 12 based on Android 12 and it has the January 1st security patch, which is pretty good. Let's check the RAM and storage information. Out of that 8GB of RAM, we get about 5.01GB of RAM free right out of the box. And out of that 128GB of storage, we get about 106GB of space for our user apps and user data. For a normal user, that's definitely more than sufficient. Now this is the camera interface. It looks pretty similar to other iQOO phones. We got the default photo mode. On the left side, we got the portrait mode and the night mode. On the right side, we got the video and the more section. we get a pretty similar interface even for the front camera. As it's a mid-range phone, we don't get a lot of camera features, but we do have all the basic features. Now these are some sample shots. Now let's test the speaker. This one has just a single speaker at the bottom, and this is how it sounds.
Let's go.
Now the speaker on this phone is definitely loud enough for media consumption, ringtones and alarms. At least I don't have any complaints with the speaker loudness. Next, let's test the fingerprint scanner. Just like most of the phones these days, even with the iQOO Z6, we get a side-mounted fingerprint scanner, and the performance is pretty good. It almost unlocks the phone instantaneously. Here's a quick preview once again. We also got the face unlock feature on this phone, and that too works really well. In good lighting conditions and even in low lighting conditions, it's pretty fast, almost unlocks the phone within a second. Surprisingly, even in complete darkness, face unlock works really well. At max it takes about a second or two, but most of the time it's pretty fast and it's definitely usable. Now as for the gaming performance of this phone, I would say it is pretty good. We are getting a display with Full HD Plus resolution with 120Hz screen refresh rate with great performance, especially for the price. If you are a heavy gamer who likes to play games like PUBG, then you can definitely consider this phone. I've been using this phone like a regular user for 2 to 3 days, and I must say the overall performance of this phone is pretty good. Like, you got the performance, you got a pretty good display with 120Hz screen refresh rate, and even in regular usage, you can definitely notice that difference. Everything is much more smoother. And besides that, cameras are also pretty good and you get great battery life. And on average, I can easily get more than a day of battery life, considering I don't play any games. So guys, to conclude, at a starting price of 15,500 rupees, this is definitely a pretty good phone. So guys, what do you think about this phone? Do let me know by commenting below this video, and if you're planning to buy this phone, use the link in the description. It always helps the channel. With that said, this is Nikhil signing off. See you in my next video.